Okay, greetings from Studio 84 here along Lithuli Avenue in Bugolobi, Kampala, Uganda. My name is Solomon Tumwesije, one of your random hosts here at Studio 84. Studio 84 is a podcast platform out on a mission to empower business owners and organization leaders to create and own their own content in different fields of what they do. Today, I am honored to host an interesting gentleman. All my guests are interesting. Don't you start doubting why I always say interesting. Yes, because everyone has a story. He's called Wilberforce Nsamba. I met him not too long ago in a business space that I am part of, that is BNI, Business Network International. And guess what? Wilberforce Nsamba is the chapter president for the baby chapter of BNI Uganda. That is BNI Victorious. Wilbur, I cannot do you an injustice anymore to try and introduce you and pretend I know you well. So please introduce yourself. Tell us what you're about, your business, and let's have this conversation.
My name is Wilberforce Nsamba, the realtor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Solomon, for hosting me. I run a company called Credo Management.
Yes.
We specialize in facilities and property management.
Yes.
And property agency.
Yes.
That's what we do. We do real estate advisory as well.
Yes.
So we are an end-to-end firm for real estate.
Wow. Wilberforce. Can I call you Wilbur?
Yes, please.
The people who know you well call you Wilbur. So Wilbur.
Yes.
Quickly, briefly, your BNI story. Who invited you to BNI? How did you know about it? How did you join? And how did you, usually when you're joining a new space, leading in that space is something that doesn't come naturally to many people. So how did you end up there?
Well, it's been a journey.
Yeah.
I was invited, I think, since 3 years ago. Yeah. I was invited by James Lubinga. Yeah. I was invited by Olu.
Yeah.
I was invited by Dazo Mukisa.
Interesting.
All those guys interested me in BNI.
Yeah.
But I think when a time for something has come,
yeah,
nothing can stop it.
Nothing stops it.
So I visited 2 chapters before,
yeah,
at 4 different meetings.
Yes.
Until when this year's strategic plan at my firm, we included BNI as part of our marketing strategy. So we've been intentional to say, we think we've tried all the other ways of doing business. Let's try the BNI way. So this time it's me who called James Lubinga and told him, Guy, I'm ready. Let's get in and get working.
I really like your story, Wilbur, because many BNI members struggle when they invite their people in their spaces 1-2 times and they don't join. They feel demoralized and so on. I feel like your story is encouraging and that tells that even when you invite someone and they come in the room, they don't join immediately, there is hope. There's always a right time.
I think, Solomon, that aspect doesn't even apply to only BNI. Even in the way we do business. Yeah. The role of marketing is that the word is out there, the brand is out there. The conversion comes with time. You only have to keep doing what you do best, putting it out there. Clients will start converting naturally. Since I joined BNI, we started on our journey in February this year. We've been through training and now launching in August. But I'm already a Gold Club member. I've sponsored more than 6 people to join BNI because they believe in my business acumen. Once I told them I found a network, a system that works, the conversion is coming. I post on my status, some ask, some say I need time, but now it's starting to materialize by itself.
Yes,
so you just do what you got to do, the conversion will come.
Eventually. I like what you said. You're already a Gold Club member upon induction and launch of the chapter. That's a great milestone. And just trying to tap into your networks and maybe help someone out there trying to look into their networks and tap. You say you're invited by James, you're invited by Olu, you're invited by Dazo. those three people are from totally different worlds, in my opinion. Maybe Dazo and James,
Yes.
but you're in real estate. Dazo and James are into photography big time. Olu is into IT. Where did you meet these people?
Well, life
Uh-huh.
happens.
Yes.
James, we met. He did photography for my sister's Kwanjula
Yes.
about 6 years ago.
Yes.
7. That's how I met him, because I was on the organizing committee. I was the Moko.
Yes.
Later on, James did my wedding
Yes.
in 2020
Yes.
in COVID. at
Your
Sheraton.
COVID groom.
Yes. At Sheraton, I took the opportunity for fewer numbers
Oh, you're one of those
to
people.
do a more classy event.
Yes.
We had only 80 guests.
Yeah.
It was cozy, it was
Oh,
personal,
I love
but very
small
nice.
weddings,
Yes.
yes.
So that's how I met James. Dazo, still through my sister. She's now like our family. He's now like our family photographer.
Yeah.
And then Olu, how did I meet Olu? I think we needed some IT work
Yeah.
at the company, so he was recommended. When he visited, he interested me in BNI. But generally, life will lead you.
Yes.
At first, my professional background is HR. I did human resource management first. So I made, I'm still part of the HR Association of Uganda. So I have people in that network. And then I went ahead and did an MBA. So I have a network of the MBAs.
Yes.
And then I joined real estate 5 years ago.
So you have
and
another
I have
family in
another
there.
family of
Wow.
real estate.
Yes.
So that's how life is, you know.
Yes.
And now I have the BNI family and among other global networks that I'm part of. So life is just about every piece working together. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're mentioning and wondering where you met Olu. My friend Olu from BNI Sunrise, I'm looking at you now in the camera. I was about to complete the sentence of where you met him. I was like, you'll meet Olu in the most random of places. Although I need to host you in this chair one of these days and you tell us how you end up in meeting the most random people in the most random of places. I'm just bantering with my man Olu. And you mentioned those interesting names, all strong members in BNI. James is an amazing photographer. Dazo is an amazing photographer. His nickname is Portrait Daddy. Olu has been running that IT company for decades now. I don't know whether that has something to do with his age, but anyway, I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. So, why the first person in the room for Victorious, in the forming chapter room?
I was the second. There is a farm planner,
Yeah.
Nsamba,
Yeah.
who was the very first person that James interested. My coming to BNI was not to start Victorious. No. I came to join Sunrise because I had seen fire in Sunrise and as charged up, I told James, no, I'm paying to join Sunrise. He told me, are you sure? So we went through the discussion for about a month. Do you stick to Victorious and see where life takes you, or do you go to Sunrise, something that is already moving, jump on the bus and chase?
Continue,
Yeah.
yes.
But he showed me the pros and cons of both.
Yeah.
He showed me the opportunity that lies in starting a new chapter, because there you create your own organic relationships, and then you grow organically to the numbers and the levels of business that are in Sunrise. Because Sunrise launched with a fewer number of people than even Victorious.
So I think 26
exactly,
and 27.
meaning if you put in the work, if you learn the system and work with the system, it's very easy to get to the numbers. So that's how we got focused and said, okay, let's move our own thing. And I'm glad to say from member 002, we are now over 50 at launch. And by end of year, we have a target of being 80 or even 100.
Wow.
So it shows that if you work the BNI system, you get the right people to run this race with you.
You guys have really put in the work at Victorious, and you have a solid team of members there. I know I've met a few of them at the expo and so on. So, Wilbur, at what's your company called?
Credo Management Limited.
So, what do you do at Credo Management?
At Credo, we do real estate services.
Yes.
We do real estate advisory.
Yes.
We do property management, we do facilities management,
Yes.
and then real estate agency.
Okay. When you say real estate advisory,
Yes.
is that like from the moment I want to purchase a property, or if I want to rent it out? What kind of advisory services do you typically give?
Advisory starts from the time of when you have that money,
Yeah.
that income,
Yeah.
that saving. When you're at crossroads of asking yourself, where do I invest this money?
Yes.
That's where we come in. To give you an alternative, real estate as a vehicle through which you can invest your money and make profit out of it. So at that level, before you buy even the land,
Yes.
we are here to tell you what real estate works for you.
Yeah.
But like any other business, we advise based on your purpose.
Yes.
Why are you investing? What's the goal? Once we get to know the purpose, the direction you want to take, then we advise you. Should you buy empty land? Should you already buy an existing property? Should you buy residential? Should you buy, in which areas should you buy?
Yes.
Our role is to have the trends. Our role is to know, to watch the dynamics, the numbers, the growth, and the trends of real estate to be able to advise people. We've saved so many people from making financial losses, and we've helped so many people in making money out of real estate. The goal is that when we know your purpose, sometimes we even tell you real estate is not for you.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that because most people think that real estate, just like BNI, I mean, BNI is not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah, yes, I appreciate the advisory bit.
Yeah.
Next service.
Next service is property and facilities management.
Yes.
Now, after you've done your real estate investment, you have a goal of making sense out of it. You have a goal of optimizing the returns on your investment. That's where property and facilities management come in. Property management relates to the commercial elements of a property: marketing, finding tenants, onboarding them, collecting rent, invoicing, legal compliance in terms of tenancy agreements and concessions and leases. That is property management, the commercial element of a property. Facilities management relates to the running, the functionality, maintenance, and longevity of a property.
Yeah, maintenance, bills. And
Yeah,
so
maintenance, bills, utilities, efficiency of the property, energy consumption, saving, convenience, comfortability of the people dwelling in the property. That is the facilities. So at Credo, we give you both. We bring in the management aspect, which is the commercial end, and the facilities aspect, which is the maintenance and the lifetime of your property. Yeah. So we take on the landlord's role on your behalf so that you have peace of mind to focus on your other work and investments.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, Wilbur. So those two services.
And then lastly is agency,
Okay.
which many people call brokerage. We are certified international property specialists, registered with the National Association of Realtors of USA. So we are certified realtors. We are also accredited buyers representatives, which is a designation to show that we are qualified to represent buyers and sellers in the real estate market. So if you're looking at buying or selling real estate property of any nature, we are the people to go to. We practice on highly ethical standards set by the National Association of Realtors of USA. We train, we retrain, we always up to date with the current standards. So if you want authentic, genuine, and trusted real estate agents, we are here.
Yeah. How long have you done this business?
Our business was registered in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been
5
running
years.
it since.
Yeah. 5-6 years.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. So I like to get in the minds of people and how they ended up where they ended up. Yeah. What drove you into real estate? You mentioned that you
HR.
Exactly.
Your master's.
Exactly. Your school qualification, then HR, and then an MBA. Now you're here in real estate. Or are you the kind who keeps looking for, this is boring, I want a new challenge? I always find those people interesting.
And I think it's a good thing. Real estate, from way back, I think growing up,
Yeah.
our mom had little mizigo
Okay.
around our main home.
Mm.
Little mizigo.
Yeah.
Maybe back then there were 50K each unit or 30K.
Yeah.
So we grew up knowing
Where
that
is that?
wherever in Makindye,
Okay.
locally Kongi,
Yeah.
20 years ago, it wasn't the place it is right now.
No, it definitely.
So we grew up knowing that wherever you stay, make sure you have a few mizigo giving you some income for a rainy day. So we grew up with the mizigo mindset. Okay? The mizigo mindset helped us to know that real estate, real property, is the biggest asset one can have.
Yes.
So for us, we grew up knowing that that is the way to go. So even as I did school, I did HR.
You
For example,
this foundation.
yes, I did my first brokerage job while I was still employed in HR.
Wow.
So there's a guy selling a property. I gave a risk. I told him, guy, I can sell that for you. I think 2015. It was the first time. He told me, okay, you can sell. It was in Luzira. And I went and put a small placard, property for sale. I put a caretaker who would tell me, and one fateful day, a buyer walked in and they called me. I was able to go to KCCA, do the search for them, get them about the original title. I told the guy the other side, I've got a buy. And that's how I made my first money of agency, of being a broker. Yes. And it was good money, Solomon. I bought my first car, Aspacio, back then from that deal. So that's when I got to know.
You saw that money.
I think
you saw real estate money before you saw HR MBA money. You're like, one on feed out here. Eh? I'm not going
I was
anywhere.
getting the HR money, but I found this to be interesting.
It never bought you a spatial in one in one
That's
week.
True. That's true. That's true. But you see, so that was the journey. But still, all that time I was helping mom on collecting the little 30K, 50K from her mizigo. And then later I started with family. Whenever a sister or brother would put up some mizigo, I would volunteer to help. I've always been a hands-on guy. So I'd volunteer to help. So the dream came until then, 2018 to 2020, when we started this with my other director. We said, okay, now let's go in fully. But the Credo story began in the US. My brother had visited and he was on, I think it's called Boston Radio Uganda.
Yes.
Can confirm that. So while he was on radio, Ugandans living there called in and said, we need trustworthy people who are down back in Uganda who can help to run our properties on our behalf. We've been scammed by relatives, by friends, by fake service providers. So when my colleague came back, we decided to say, and at first, to interest you, Solomon, we thought we were going to serve the diaspora market.
That's what I was coming to. I was going to say, so is that now your niche? Is that your target market?
Surprisingly not. Surprisingly not. So he came back and told me, you know what? There are Ugandans suffering abroad. We need to start to help them. So Credo means trust.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's
like that.
CREDO. It means trust.
Yeah.
So the gap we were covering, is the gap of trust. That can there be trustworthy people to do real estate for Ugandans in the diaspora, from construction, because the firm is fully fledged. We have engineers and architects and or valuers and all. So we're saying, can we meet the trust gap between the diaspora market and the Ugandan market? So we began. Our first client was a Ugandan, not a diaspora market. So he came back as we were speaking on one of the local radio stations. A Ugandan had and called in and said, I have my units in Sonde that I need you to manage for me. That was about 4 years ago. So we went to Sonde, started with those 4. I remember I started being the one to jump on a border to go and on board and put up a placard, property managed by. That has been the journey. And then clientele has grown. But as we speak, maybe 80% is Ugandan, and then 20% is the diaspora market. Ugandans have later on realized that there is need, after you've done real estate, to hand it over to professionals so that they extract the value that you want to get from your property. Yeah.
I from experience, I find this interesting. Usually, many times, I can't say most times, many times you go out with your mission. It looks like the dream and target that gets you started sometimes doesn't keep you going, because the market determines what keeps you going. And I've seen it happen in my own company at Apt Media. What drove us to start is not what kept us there, is not what's driving us now 16, 17 years later. It's really interesting. But I also know a thing or two about real estate, Wilbur, and I've felt like real estate management,
facilities and property management.
Property and facilities management is an acceptable or common way of doing business for the big properties, the ones with names. The ones with Mizigo, like you mentioned in Makinde, the one with smaller properties, many as they could be, they always feel like they don't need a professional to manage them. Maybe that's why they are not run and maintained really well. I am hoping at Credo you have seen into that and also developed a package for the Muntwa Wansi who has a couple of Mizigo. And you're helping them, because I feel that's how now we grow it. The other guys are handling it at the top. You could start handling it from the bottom, and somewhere we meet along the way. I don't know what you think.
I think every property, whichever nature it is, whichever purpose it is, it should be run professionally. For two reasons. Once your property is managed professionally, number one, it will give you the optimum returns that you want it to, because this property manager is target-based. Meaning he must do everything possible to make sure that the parameters you set at signing the contract are met every day. Number two, because there's facilities management that comes with it, there's better maintenance of your property. Therefore, you'll get a long, useful life of your property than you would do if you didn't have a professional run them. If the usable lifetime of your property was 30, 50 years, if you have a routine maintenance and facilities manager, that property can be elongated by double, by twice the age it would take. So every property should be run, but it also gives you peace of mind.
It does.
You want to go and concentrate on your core business.
Yeah, that's true.
And because once you make it, then you expect returns. So you leave it to a professional to run it, and you expect your results. You only hold them accountable by the parameters you set. Why is the low-end person not served? Maybe that should be the question, Solomon. It's like we still struggle to have affordable housing. Real estate is expensive. It's expensive for the factors well known: the price of land, the price of raw materials for constructing a property, everything about it, the tax, everything. So real estate is not a cheap investment. It's expensive. Same to managing real estate. It's not cheap. It involves supervision. It involves paying professionals. It involves going there on a daily. It involves managing tax. Meaning a team like Credo has a tax person, a finance person full-time, has an engineer, has a valuer, has property managers, has surveyors, architects who are on the team. Meaning maintaining that team is not cheap, and yet you need it to be able to serve the clients well, because you want people that are served on the entire life cycle of their property and on the entire supply chain. So we've tried to meet the low-end market. Like I told you, we began with a few units in Sonde. 5 years ago, Sonde is not the Sonde of today. Meaning we started serving with people who had rentals of 400K, 200K, and it has gone evolving. But it also depends on the nature of the property owner. It depends on how they understand the market and the need for real estate. That's why we are doing programs like this. I thank you, Studio 84, for coming on to. The reason you come to these platforms is to educate the investors, the property developers, why they need a professional to run the property. So with this kind of education to the masses, people will get to know and realize that there is need. Most of the people on the low end say, no, I can collect this buzigo myself. I don't need a manager. Wachi. Ajakunda visa you are and all. So they need to know why they need a manager.
I know.
They usually see it as a cost, not an advantage.
Exactly. So we have a long way to go to teach these property investors to get on board and do things professionally.
True.
Thank you very much, Wilbur.
You're welcome.
I look forward to visiting Victorious one of these days.
Please.
And look forward to engaging more on having Credo have its own podcast platform where you can have and host your own guests and clients with success story. Clients from the diaspora who are going to tell us success stories and how you save them a lot. Listeners and viewers, this has been it with Wilberforce Nsamba. Wilbur the Realtor. We just discussed that here. So watch out for the podcast platform by Wilbur the Realtor. That will be coming soon. Until next time with another guest, thank you and thanks for listening in.